Just like a car, aircraft get dirty too, both on the inside and outside. Be it a civilian or military aircraft, both need to be washed frequently for various reasons. It can be done manually with the help of semi-automatic robots or even in a giant car wash. In fact, today it's not uncommon for passenger jets to be washed at least 2 to 4 times a year, and military aircraft are rinsed as often as every 30 days. There is just no other way. For instance, on aircraft carriers, that's basically all they do, constantly cleaning aircraft from salt deposits. But why not just fly through a rain cloud? Well, for one, an F-35 must stay at least 25 miles away from a thunderstorm. Otherwise, its fuel tanks may ignite. But we've already made a video on that. Now, you may think that washing an aircraft is as exciting and simple as washing your car. And it could be. But unfortunately, it's not. The not-so-exciting reality is that the closest thing to girls in bikinis washing an aircraft is Hoover and Harvey. But it's also not so simple. You don't have to wash the inside of your car's engine with soap and then pressure wash it. But why the Royal Netherlands Air Force had an unscheduled foam party with its first operational F-35, and why that resulted in the aircraft being grounded for 3 weeks upon arrival is not what you think. Why clean the aircraft on the inside is self-explanatory, but there are 2 things you should know. First is that aircraft on any airline are not clean enough. If you're lucky, after each flight, it takes about 15 minutes for a small team of cleaners to clean up the trash, wipe toilet seats, and vacuum the aisles between flights. I would tell you a vacuum joke, but they always suck. Second, you should know that while the tray tables do in fact get sanitized from time to time, headrests rarely do. But what's even worse are the seat back pockets that never get cleaned, and they're gross. People tend to stick all sorts of garbage in there, including used tissues and even used diapers. Yuck. But why clean the exterior of the aircraft? Well, for one, for its looks. A dirty aircraft wouldn't inspire much confidence that it's safe to fly, which could translate to lower ticket sales. For airlines, maintaining their fleet appearance is a no-brainer. Second is fuel savings. An aircraft can keep up to a few hundred pounds of dirt and grime on its skin. This would produce drag and disturb the airflow. As a result, cleaning the aircraft leads to up to 2% in fuel savings, which saves money in the long term. For example, a Boeing 737 uses about 2,400 gallons of jet fuel per hour. A typical US airline operates a Boeing 737 for about 3,000 hours per year, meaning that a 1% reduction in fuel consumption would save 72,000 gallons of jet fuel per year. At $3 per gallon, that means an annual saving of $216,000. The third reason is a little less obvious, as it has to do with maintenance. Oftentimes, aircraft are washed prior to going on checks, since it's hard to inspect aircraft parts for cracks and damages when they're covered in dirt. On top of that, keeping aircraft components clean improves their lifespan, which reduces costs in the long term. For example, frequently washing an aircraft can prolong its paint life by up to 20%. For the military, the main benefit of washing aircraft is corrosion prevention, especially in sandy and saltwater environments. There are multiple ways to wash the exterior of an aircraft: human labor and robotic labor. You can further break down these categories into traditional and dry wash, as well as semi-automatic and fully automatic, which will help us with a clean segue to our sponsor, War Thunder. Whether you enjoy fighting from the air, launching torpedoes from warships during naval battles, or if you want to be the commander of a tank to defend your base, War Thunder offers over 2,000 historically accurate vehicles so you can partake in arcade battles and tactical wars. I love the mouse aim playing mode, which is easy and intuitive, so if you've never played War Thunder, you're just 5 minutes away from enjoying some realistic dogfights. This game is so realistic, and things actually get damaged when you're hit. And you don't need a fancy gaming computer. You can enjoy playing War Thunder on a regular PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. This game is in fact fully cross-platform. On top of that, there are free bonuses like a premium tank, aircraft, and ship, 100,000 Silver Lions, and a 7-day premium account. Just register using the link in the description and claim your exclusive bonus. The traditional cleaning process of a Boeing 737 takes 5 people and close to 7 hours. Washing a Boeing 777 or larger aircraft will take an entire shift with at least 10 people. The larger the aircraft, the harder it is to clean it, because it may require scissor lifts, boom lifts, and even specialized hangers in order to clean those hard-to-reach places. Larger airlines have dedicated teams whose sole purpose is to wash aircraft. Usually, the cleaning happens at night, when most aircraft are not operating. Depending on the wash type and the cleaning chemicals used, certain parts of the aircraft must be sealed prior to the wash. All important sensors are also covered. The rinsing begins, followed by lots of scraping with soapy water. This slimy thing is a soap that is used to remove all the heavy grime off. Then it's rinsed off, all the tape is removed, and inspectors make sure no soap is left behind. This particular aircraft is afterward headed over for its maintenance. Some say that the tail is the dirtiest part of the aircraft due to the accumulation of contaminants in the areas where the aircraft's engine exhaust is expelled. Others say it's the belly of the aircraft due to its proximity to the landing gear. During takeoffs and landings, the aircraft's wheels can kick dirt from the runway onto the belly. Additionally, the landing gear hydraulic fluid runs down the belly of the aircraft, which needs to be scraped extra hard. Each aircraft wash requires enormous amounts of water, and for this reason, many airlines prefer a dry wash, which relies on chemicals. During the dry wash process, a special cleaning solution is applied to the aircraft skin, which typically looks like a mist of foam. The cleaning solution is left on the skin of the aircraft for a short period of time so it can penetrate the dirt and bind with it. Afterward, the cleaning solution is wiped or brushed off along with the encapsulated dirt and contaminants. The dry wash process is repeated until all the dirt is removed from the aircraft. Introducing Nordic Dyno, the ultimate cleaning beast. This badass semi-automatic washing robot takes orders from a remote control, like a dog trained to scrub. It doesn't discriminate between narrow or wide-body aircraft. It's ready to tackle any dirty monster in the sky. And get this, it can run on a diesel engine or a snazzy electric motor. Talk about versatility. The largest Nordic Dyno XWB has 3 arms and can handle aircraft up to 40 feet tall. Believe it or not, cleaning robots have been lurking in the shadows for about 4 decades now, but they're still the underdogs of the cleaning world. They are the oddballs in a room full of traditional mops and brooms trying to make a name for themselves. Can you believe it? Only 5% of the aircraft cleaning market gets a taste of the robotic magic. But why are they such a rare breed? These fancy washing robots come with a hefty price tag. They're like the luxury sport cars of the cleaning world, and it takes ages for their owners to break even on their investment. These robots better have some serious dance moves to make up for that investment. One of the major drawbacks of relying on traditional manual methods for aircraft cleaning is the staggering amount of water they gulp down. We're talking about a whopping 660 to 3,000 gallons of precious H2O just to spruce up a single aircraft. That's enough water to fill a small swimming pool, depending on the aircraft size, of course. While dry washing eliminates the water waste issue, it comes with its own set of challenges, like long hours of manual labor, loads of equipment, and the need for a never-ending supply of chemicals. Meanwhile, robots such as the Nordic Dino save more than 30% on water and reduce the aircraft wash time by 80% when compared to traditional manual methods. And this is a big deal. After the COVID pandemic hit, the aviation industry saw a mass exodus of folks who waved goodbye and never looked back. And guess what? A big reason behind this desertion was low pay, especially for those hardworking aircraft cleaners. With staff shortages lingering, the use of robots is expected to increase. There simply is no other choice. But the preference for traditional cleaning methods among airlines persists due to the concerns over potential damages to the new aircraft made of composite materials, which are more susceptible to cracks and scratches. However, as technology evolves, this perception is rapidly changing. Moreover, in the past, aircraft would undergo washing only twice a year during maintenance. These days, there has been a shift toward more frequent washing, with most aircraft being cleaned at least 4 times a year. This change has significantly shortened the time it takes for the investment in washing equipment to pay off, down to around 4 years. Semi-automatic washing systems offer additional benefits. Not only are they swift, but they also eliminate the need for bulky equipment, like lifts. These systems reduce the chances of human errors and drastically decrease the required man-hours. Such advantages make the adoption of semi-automatic washing systems an appealing choice for airlines looking to enhance efficiency and minimize the potential damage during the cleaning process. The washing robots are also slowly making their way into the military. The United States Air Force has developed a robot that can wash an F-16 in just 52 minutes with the help of one person. Normally, it would take a team of 6 hours to wash the Fighting Falcon. Not only does this robot save up to 24 man-hours, but it also limits the exposure of the ground personnel to toxic chemicals, as well as reduce the downtime of freshly cleaned aircraft from 2 days to just 1. As with all other aircraft, cleaning the landing gear is the hardest, even for a robot, as there are so many nooks and crannies. So why not just build a giant car wash-style wash hanger, just like the military did with the F-16, but for passenger aircraft? Well, they did. Built by the masterminds of MSG Productions and Siemens, this epic car wash-style washing machine not only can wash airplanes and engines, but also de-ice the aircraft. This is of course an expensive investment, but it will ultimately reduce costs for the airline. This car wash robot-like hanger can wash an aircraft in just 30 minutes as it gets pulled by an automated tug. Versions of the system can use various interchangeable tools such as de-icing tools, inspection tools, and washing tools. The current system can handle an aircraft every 4 minutes for de-icing and provide a light de-ice in 90 seconds. The system is also capable of washing aircraft engines. But why on earth would you need to wash the aircraft engine? Wouldn't flying through rain clean it up? You see, the engine's fan and compressor airfoils of an aircraft accumulate dirt, grime, and leftovers from bird strikes over time. This reduces the engine's performance, which increases fuel consumption. As a result, washing engines annually will reduce fuel consumption between 0.5 to 1%, which could save up to $72,000 per year based on a $3 per gallon cost of fuel. As contaminants build up inside the engine, they also speed up the development of corrosion, which shortens the engine's lifespan. Dirt causes exhaust gas temperature to increase over time, which leads to more frequent maintenance. Washing the engine decreases the EGT by 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which increases the intervals between hot section inspections by hundreds, if not thousands of hours. The contaminants in the engines don't wash away when aircraft fly through rain and thunderstorms. because jet engines are designed to direct water through a bypass duct so that it doesn't enter the engine core. But there is a way to wash the engine core. In a process that takes 12 man-hours to complete, a special cleaning system equipped with high-pressure nozzles are placed at different angles in front of the blades. These nozzles can create water droplets that are just the right size to go through the engine's path, similar to how tiny contaminants got there in the first place. After the engine has drained and dried, it's run for a few minutes to make sure everything is in order. Have you ever wondered how the brave cleaner doesn't get sucked into the mighty engine while it's roaring away? Fear not. During engine wash, the engine is dry-motored, which means there is no fuel flow or ignition. Instead, an engine starter is used, so rest assured the cleaner can scrub away without worrying about becoming an unexpected ingredient in the engine's recipe. Salute to safety. Speaking of salutes, this aircraft is not getting washed. It's receiving a salute. A water salute happens when 2 or more fire trucks use their water cannons to create a water arch over a taxiing aircraft. Sometimes you get lucky and you see a nice-looking rainbow over the aircraft. Other times, not so lucky, like when this water cannon was misaimed, resulting in the water jet blowing a hatch door inside the aircraft that injured a passenger. Water salutes happen on special occasions, say when a new aircraft joins service, or to the contrary, when an aircraft or even a pilot retires. It's important to warn the passengers inside the aircraft that a water salute is about to occur. There have been instances when passengers have panicked after seeing fire trucks with flashing lights approach their airplane and spray water over the aircraft for no apparent reason. But it could get even worse. In October of 2019, the Royal Netherlands Air Force was excited to mark the arrival of the country's first operational F-35A fighter. But the firefighters at the Leeuwarden Air Base had responded to an actual emergency earlier that day and had forgotten to switch back to shooting water for the ceremony. So instead of a water salute, the F-35 got a full-body wash in aqueous film-forming foam, which not only is toxic but also extremely corrosive, especially if ingested into the engine, which it did. As a result of this mishap, the aircraft was grounded for 3 weeks. In the military, oftentimes the aircraft in service are washed even more frequently than commercial jets. Even in the middle of the war zone, aircraft would be washed in order to prevent the control and buildup of corrosion. But as you already know, washing aircraft manually is a very labor-intensive process, never mind the risks of being in a war zone. For this reason, a tactical rinse system was developed. This is a modular rinse system for corrosion control, which can be quickly set up in an airfield taxiway to wash both fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft in just a few minutes. Another benefit of the tactical rinse system is that it recycles 80% of its water. If you want to do a proper wash, you can use a total aircraft wash system or TOS, which was specifically engineered to provide the right pressure and temperature of water in order to not damage sensitive coatings on the aircraft. Salty air is highly corrosive, and depending on location, like Guam, each aircraft has to be washed about once a month, although the standard wash cycle for most military aircraft is 90 days. Most of the time is spent on landing gears and wings. Except for the F-16 washing robot, all other US military aircraft are washed manually with hoses, buckets, and brooms. Depending on the aircraft model and the amount of personnel, the wash times vary. For example, it takes 8 hours and at least 8 people to wash a C-130 Hercules. To wash a KC-135 Stratotanker, US Air Force dedicates a 3-day window, as it would take a team of 4 people 2.5 days to complete a wash. If it's an official government aircraft, like Air Force One or Air Force Two, they may require waxing, which will take even longer. but it will greatly improve appearance. But what about washing planes on aircraft carriers? Here's the thing. For an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean, fresh water is a luxury, and thus spray can solutions are used most of the time. Sometimes fighter pilots would purposely fly through rain showers to get some of the dirt off. Even though a Nimitz-class carrier can distill about 400,000 gallons of fresh water per day, most of it goes to generate steam for the catapult and to power other things around the ship. You also need to have enough water for 5,000 sailors, but sometimes that's not enough, so they have to shut down the laundry facilities. Fresh water is so scarce that even the toilets and fire water run on salt water. Nevertheless, due to the salty environment, the typical airplane cleaning interval on aircraft carriers ranges from 7 to 14 days. This interval depends on multiple factors, such as the intensity of operations, weather conditions, and the availability of resources, such as fresh water. But how can we talk about cleaning aircraft and not mention the honey truck? Unlike some trains, where the waste immediately goes outside the train as you flush it, aircraft have large waste tanks that need to be emptied after each flight. The honey truck works by connecting a giant vacuum pipe to the aircraft and sucking all the sewage out. Looks like someone had corn for lunch. I think this job deserves a hazard pay. They also put another hose with water and disinfectants to circulate through the tank. And if you wonder, it does smell like honey, but you get used to it. This process takes up to 5 minutes per tank, depending on the aircraft. Compared to legacy gravity systems, the vacuum system does a much better job cleaning the tank, since it can easily deal with any blockages. I should also point out, that is a Mercedes. So next time someone tells you they drive a Mercedes, I hope you ask them some follow-up questions. Like, have you played War Thunder? This free vehicle combat game works on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Click the link in the description to take advantage of War Thunder's exclusive bonuses for Not What You Think viewers and join over 50 million War Thunder players around the world.